This is the Toshiba Portégé M200, a powerful tablet PC for its time, but unfortunately now it's outdated. I've already made a video demonstrating most of its features and trying some tablet PC stuff, but what about the original software this computer came with when it was new? Let's try to restore that today. This computer had a recovery disk in a DVD, but it doesn't have a built-in optical drive. So what you're supposed to do to restore the original software is to use a USB DVD drive. I had one, which was an internal drive in a USB enclosure, but now I put that drive inside another computer, so I no longer have a USB optical drive. We're going to try to use those recovery files from USB flash drives. There is a little bit of a problem though. This computer does not support booting from USB flash drives. It does support USB floppy drives and USB optical drives, but not flash drives. Luckily, there is a workaround, and that's by using an SD card. Not SDHC or SDXC, but it has to be a regular SD card. And you might think you can just make an SD card bootable using a program like Rufus. But actually you can't. The way that Toshiba boots from an SD card is via floppy disk image stored in it. What you have to do is format the SD card using FAT, not FAT32 or NTFS or exFAT. And then you can just put the floppy disk image in it. However, you have to rename it to this special name, $TOSFD00.VFD. Even if the extension is like .img, you have to change it to .vfd. As you can see, I have several floppy disk images here, but only the one named exactly like this is going to be accessible. And what is this floppy disk image? It's our good friend, the Plop Boot Manager. With that, we can boot from a USB flash drive on that computer. This kind of booting from special floppy disk image on an SD card is treated the same as booting from a USB floppy drive. So I've changed the boot order to floppy disk drive and then hard drive. I would put CD-ROM before hard drive, but there's only a limited amount of choices. So my idea was this: make a bootable USB flash drive using Sergey's Strelix WinPE, which has a bunch of utilities, including Symantec Ghost, because this Toshiba recovery image uses that program. So I've just set up the flash drive using Rufus, and I copied over the recovery image to it. This is the M200 recovery DVD. The recovery image is in the folder base, so I just copied that to the USB drive. Here's Plop Boot Manager booting from the floppy disk image in the SD card. But there's yet another problem. If I just select USB by pressing enter, it will freeze. Because another quirk of this M200 is that it can only boot from USB at USB 1.1 speed. You thought USB 2.0 on the iPhone 15 was slow? Well, try USB 1.1, but it's still better than nothing. To boot using USB 1.1 on Plop, you have to hold down Shift while pressing enter, so I'll do that. And press any key to boot from USB, in this case flash drive. And here we can select Ghost 11.5. I also took out the SD card because it's no longer necessary. So we go local disk from image, and here it is. The password is 2589. We select our hard drive, use the whole drive, overwrite the drive and proceed. Alright, so the recovery is done. Let's start it up, which should resemble starting up this computer for the very first time back in 2005. If you bought it in the US, that is, because this is the US version of the recovery software I found. I've also taken the pen out. We're going to use it whenever we have the chance to. Please wait while Windows prepares to start. We see the tablet keyboard. And this is a little weird. It covers up that part of the wizard. But never mind, let's click next. The end user license agreement, if you can read all of it. Of course you can move it, but it's not immediately obvious. Yeah, let's turn on automatic updates, even though they don't work without doing the legacy update patch now. Computer name Toshiba user. That's good enough. Oh, you can already... Oh, it's not connected. Ready to register with Toshiba and Microsoft. Let's see what it's like. It's not exactly the same as registering with Microsoft, so... Collecting registration information. Okay, nothing that special. So let's just say no. Do you want to set up internet access now? No. Who will use this computer? Let's try typing on the wonderful on-screen keyboard now. Thank you. No problem. Finish. Okay, it's restarting. That on-screen keyboard sure likes changing colors. And here we are, and we have a bunch of programs here already. The Windows Start menu with Windows Journal, Get Going with Tablet PC. This program called Symbol Commander, which is telling you about certain gestures you can make with the tablet pen on the screen. Like, for example, I want to do email, so I draw like a giant lowercase e. I think you have to hold down the button first. It doesn't say that. So, for example, and now it's asking for credentials, which are most likely not going to work on this old application. Welcome to Tablet PC. This is the standard Windows Tablet PC edition thing. We're going to take a quick look at it. All the writing on the screen is pretty small, because this is a 12-inch 1400 by 1050 display, almost 1080p, but 4:3 aspect ratio. It's not an IPS screen, but the colors are really good. This was a great display for its time. So let's take a quick look at this. Tells you how to use the pen on the tablet screen. And this is pretty smart technology. It doesn't work with your finger, so you can just rest your hand on the screen and it doesn't interfere. And this pen does not need charging. I am right-handed with the pen. Tells you how to use it. Let's practice. Now, I'm not holding the tablet the correct way. I'm supposed to rest it on the table, much like a paper notebook, but we'll see. Double tap inside the image of the door. Very good. But I won't go through all of this. It would take too long, so exit. There was another thing in that app. No, not this one. Here are the tablet PC tutorials. How to use this training, there's a video. And apparently it's broken. A lot of stuff. Anyway, let's see what we have on the desktop. I think they should have increased the font size by default to like 125%. We have Internet Explorer 6, Acrobat Reader 5, Alias SketchBook Pro 1.0. Let's open it, see what that is. Accept the license agreement. Thank you for trying Alias SketchBook Pro, trademark, the pen-based sketching tool that gives you the power to sketch, annotate, and present your ideas. It's a 15-day trial, so let's see. At least it's full-featured. And it works 18 years later. So it's basically a paint program. There are various tools here. Or you have to hold down here to select different tool, like highlighter, colors, undo and redo, I think, change page probably, and some other tools that aren't really easy to understand just by looking at the icons. See, you don't have to have an iPad with a $100 pencil just to be a digital artist. Don't save. Then we have Bluetooth Stack Installation Guide, and it's a text file. This document guides users to install or upgrade the Bluetooth stack on Windows XP, the driver and apps used to control Bluetooth devices. Why isn't this already installed? Download the install program from the Toshiba website. It's not available anymore. I think Bluetooth should already work, but if we open Device Manager, right-click on my computer. See, you usually press the pen button to right-click, but because there's that symbol commander program, you can't right-click this way, so I have to use the touchpad. And here's the system info. This has a 2 GHz Pentium M755. It originally had half a gigabyte of RAM. I upgraded it to 1.25. Of course, every driver is installed, but let's see, Bluetooth. It is there, so I don't know. How do you enable it? Bluetooth settings, remote camera, user's guide, wireless file transfer. Oh, so you have proprietary programs for that. System will be automatically restarted once Bluetooth has been enabled. I think there is a keyboard shortcut to mess with the wireless setting. There's also a physical wireless switch, but that only controls everything at once. So it's function F8. Oh, and you have to hold it down like Alt-Tab. So Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, both or neither. So let's try both. Oh, so it was disabled. Can Windows connect to Windows Update? Sure, but it's not connected to the internet. The software you're trying to install has not passed Windows logo testing. It means it doesn't have a digital signature. That's pretty weird for OEM software to be like this, but continue anyway, of course. And now we should have Bluetooth. Maybe another driver to install. Caution in all uppercase. Bluetooth trademark and wireless LAN devices operate with the same radio frequency range and may interfere with one another. Yeah, that's true, but it's usually not a problem. Okay, now the wireless file transfer works without having to restart. And I guess you could use that, but back then I would just right-click and go to Send to Bluetooth device. Wi-Fi should also work. But this is Windows XP Service Pack 2, so you cannot connect to networks encrypted with WPA2. So in that case, you have to upgrade to Service Pack 3. What's next? Buy at ToshibaDirect. And this is a web page. All the Toshiba products you could buy back then. Why does it want ActiveX? Or whatever this content is. Just looks the same. Fax, that should be just a Windows app. Welcome to Fax Configuration Wizard. Because this computer has a built-in dial-up modem, you could use it for fax as well. But of course, I'm not going to set it up now. Do you want this wizard to appear the next time you send a fax? Yes, because I'm not going to send a fax. Yeah, unblock. FranklinCovey TabletPlanner. Oh, it's setting up a printer. Another trial program. This writing is really tiny. You have to be really close to the screen to see it. Can I just start writing my notes now? Yes, I can. Daily task list. Finish. Oh, I can't write there for some reason. Appointment schedule. Contacts. Guess you could add some. Notes. Taking and using notes. Okay, some instructions. More instructions. Planner guide. So much stuff here. Let's just go through this quickly. I wonder if you could still buy a full version of this that's compatible with Windows XP. I doubt it. Oh, that file has 25 pages. Values, mission possible, goals, more puns, finances, check register, budget, expense, car mileage log, key info, some more templates. Oh, something about the whole world instead of just the US. Toll-free numbers and websites. Wonder how many of those are actually still valid today. And at least they acknowledge Canada as well. Okay, pretty cool. Install drag and drop. Again, I wonder why it's not already installed. Drag and drop CD plus DVD. Well, you'd need a USB optical drive for this. No, I don't want to restart now. I think I'm going to be able to use this program. Notepad should have word wrap turned on by default. I'm not sure. I'm not going to read through that. This video is already getting pretty long. Next, install WinDVD. Error, no DVD drive is present on the system. Install Zinio Exp. Zinio Reader. Is that it? Just added a shortcut to digital magazines, nothing else. Business Week, Harvard Business Review, PC Magazine, Popular Science, Technology Review. Let's try the first one. Okay, so this is a magazine reading app, and it comes with some sample magazines. First, a quick start guide. And here it is. If you click, you can zoom in. So this is Business Week from June 2nd, 2003. They were already thinking of digital magazines back then. How do you go to the next page? Well, you have to click on the arrows. And of course, there are ads here too. And then there's this one. Multi-page ads. Look at the PCs you could get back then. This is also from 2003, I think. All of the cars in these magazines do not exist where I live, so that's different. Of course, the brands do, like Toyota, but not these models. And finally, Preparing animations and something. Oh, this one has some stuff that you cannot have in a paper magazine. Rich media content. Can we install it? Cannot be completed because your computer is offline. Aw, shame. So continue reading. Obviously, this stuff is not available anymore even if you are online. Oh, an Apple ad. The world's first 17-inch notebook computer. I didn't know Apple invented 17-inch laptops. That's it for that one. M200 Demo. And this is probably what would be running when this computer is at a store or something. Microsoft Reader. So many things to accept. With ClearType. And this is like another ebook platform. This must be an index. How to navigate like a web page. How do I navigate in Microsoft Reader? From within an ebook. What if I click play?
Navigate in Microsoft Reader. Graphic topic divider line. You can open Microsoft Reader from another application or by opening a netbook. Navigate Microsoft Reader from a netbook covered page and use linked text to access the internet.
Imagine having an ebook read to you by Microsoft Sam. There are some settings. Just font size. And it also has a shop, but of course it doesn't exist anymore. MyConnect special offer. Special offer for new Toshiba notebook owners. Well, first, it's valid in the US only, and second, not that new anymore. OneNote 2003 tour. Spoiler alert, this computer does not come with a license for OneNote, or at least it doesn't with these recovery disks. Maybe there was a product key in the original packaging, but I don't have it. Register with Toshiba. And that's the same thing we saw during the out-of-box experience setup. Software upgrades. I tried this before while connected to the internet. It doesn't work. So let's say manual check. Remember when every program had a tip of the day when you started it up? Nice early 2000s proprietary user interface. TOSHIBA Console. And this is where you change various settings of this tablet. Power management. Mouse. Standard Windows mouse settings. You can enable or disable the touchpad. And it's an ALPS touchpad. Hotkey assignment. It uses a program called FNS. Get it? Finesse. Not funny. Toshiba mobile extension. That's for the docking station, which I don't have. Toshiba hardware settings. And this is a way to configure the BIOS setup from Windows. All the settings you see in the BIOS, or at least most of them, are here as well. Same boot order, only have a limited amount of options. Config free. If it's config free, it's hassle free. I won't bet on it. This is to assist you on connecting to the internet. The antenna is not disabled. I'm not sure what's up with that. Let's apply anyway. Wireless is turned off. No, it's not. Enable Wi-Fi and disable Bluetooth. Oh, I guess I have to hit the switch there. No, it's already set to on. Excuse me? This is Schrodinger's Wi-Fi. Never mind. We're not trying to connect for real. Thank you, config free. So much for hassle free. Device settings, profile settings, whatever. Tablet and pen settings, and this is from Windows. Here we can adjust the buttons which are below the screen, and we'll try in a moment. Auto rotation settings. Then we have network. This computer also has infrared, so we could transfer files using infrared. And security. Those are BIOS passwords. User's guide. Looks like it's from August 2004. Yeah, whatever, the user's guide. I think I found a more updated one somewhere else on the internet. Let's see if there's an illustration of this computer. There it is. Always like seeing stuff like this in an electronic device's user manual. Patch for drag and drop. Run after drag and drop is installed. I guess it installed it. And finally, Windows Media Player. Version 9. Which has a surprise. It has a custom skin, which is great, especially on a tablet. Tapping this tiny stuff using the pen. Look at the minimize and close buttons, how small they are. And here's the normal version. There are several custom skins. So this one is Toshiba Chrome. We have Toshiba hardware, that's even smaller. Toshiba left edge, no way it looks like that. Oh my goodness, it does. How do you go back? You can't even click on it. Wait, let me look this way. Oh, it expands when you hover over it. But this is ridiculous. It's still small. So where's the thing to go back to the normal view? Full mode, there it is. Toshiba satellite. Well, this is not a satellite, but cool anyway. Toshiba stack. Looks like trash, literally. Toshiba title bar. With song names. And the standard Windows skins. Now let's look at what there's in the start menu. Windows Journal. That's the standard Windows Tablet PC app. Didn't write very well there. It does have the option to convert handwriting to text, so I think we have to select it first with the lasso. Oh, it worked. Yeah, that's correct. Insert in the same journal note. Okay, that's pretty good. Better than their speech recognition from this era. We have Microsoft Interactive Training. That's great. I've already done a video showing the professional version.
In the next 60 seconds, you'll learn how to get the most out of this Microsoft Interactive course.
No, we won't. Card bus driver, just uninstall. DVD RAM, not ROM, RAM. Standard Windows games, except for InkBall. Most people know this from Windows Vista, but it was actually introduced in Windows XP Tablet Edition. Java Web Start. Because back then, a lot of websites had Java applets. Not to be confused with JavaScript, which is a different thing. Microsoft Office. We have OneNote included, but like I said, it doesn't include the license, at least not here. If you click cancel, it just closes, and we've already seen that there's a tour. Symbol Commander. Take another look at it. Question mark without a dot for search. Let's see if that works. Oh, like online search. And where did it go? I want to see more stuff. This one is stock probably. You can open the Microsoft Reader. That sounded pretty cool. Do that again. And it's opening it several times. And you can show the symbols by drawing a triangle. Tablet PC also has sticky notes. Okay, now I want to erase this. Can I do it with the eraser on the other side of the pen? Oh, I can. Great. Full screen sticky note. So let's see the Toshiba programs. Bluetooth, networking. I'm just gonna go through some of these quickly. Audio effect. What can you do? Mic array. I'm pretty sure this computer only has a mono microphone. Usual noise cancellation or echo cancellation. Now let's try the buttons at the bottom right of the screen. If you hold down the center button on the directional pad, you get this menu, which is pretty useful for launching some stuff. And of course you navigate it using the D-pad. You can even change the brightness. Zooming utility. I bet that just changes the screen resolution. Oh no, it doesn't. That does like Control Plus. Doesn't actually enlarge everything on the screen, just whatever is in the foreground app. Cross menu setting. This is the cross menu, I think. Pen button is the 4 programmable things on the right of the screen. And normally when you just hover over those buttons, it makes this annoying sound, so I turn that off. And when you select something, it makes another sound, which is tolerable. Now we're at 1024 by 768. And believe it or not, this computer also has an accelerometer. So when the unit is quickly tilted to the left or right, that could damage the hard drive if you do it too quickly, but let's try just display the start menu and play a sound. So, see. Oh, there we go. Had to tilt it a little more, but it worked. Even though this computer has an accelerometer, I don't think it can park the hard drive heads when you shake it too much. So at least I haven't seen a mention of it anywhere, so I would be a little more careful with it. Rotation utility, we've seen this. We've seen these as well. Launch some applications. Of course, you can add more here. And switch window, but there aren't any other windows. Then there's an X or rotate button. X, I think it's like escape. And it's supposed to rotate the screen if you hold down the button, but it's not doing it right now. And the last button is for Control-Alt-Delete. Toshiba applications just has software upgrades. Intel ProSet Wireless. And these two that we had to install. Can I start drag and drop even though I haven't restarted? Hasn't done anything. I see some more stuff on the notification area. V92 Modem on Hold app. The Symbol Commander, Bluetooth Manager. If we go to my computer, I can't right click. I keep trying to do that with the pen button, but it doesn't work. So let's quit this symbol commander so we can do that. Exit. Yes, I'm sure. And all of this uses up just under 6 gigabytes, or just over 6.2 gigabytes if you look at it the other way. And the last thing I can show is the standard Windows tablet PC input panel. Here we got handwriting right here in Comic Sans. And it recognized it there, and I can insert it in whatever program accepts text input. If you don't like handwriting normally, you can handwrite individual letters. There are little spaces like that. See, now it hasn't recognized it properly, so you just write over it. And a standard keyboard. Really small, and you cannot resize it in Windows XP, but it's there if you don't want to use the physical keyboard. And here there are also some utilities. Function, sticky key, password utility. I'm not sure why you wouldn't just use the standard Windows one. Oh, because this is the BIOS password. PC Diagnostic tool, and here we have more information. As far as I know, everything is good here. SD memory boot utility. This automatically formats your SD card. Again, it has to be a regular old SD card, not SDHC or newer. And then you can make an image of a floppy disk or copy the image file to the SD card, which is just gonna put that image file with that special name I showed. And it's also gonna mark it as hidden, but that's not necessary to boot from it. It doesn't look at the SD card's boot sector or anything. And a normal format utility. And that's about it for the original software on the Toshiba Portégé M200. So there we go. Thank you for watching. I'm not sure what that program is. Just end it.